Hi, my name is Sousan Arafeh. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies here at Southern Connecticut State University. And I wanted to talk a little bit about educational leadership and what kind of job opportunities there are out in the world. Because a lot of people think that in order to be an education leader, that means that you are going to primarily be a building principal, perhaps a superintendent, maybe a department chair, a coach. And I would like to just broaden that notion and talk about some of the positions that are available in the fields of education research, in the fields of government, and in nonprofit organizations. So, research and evaluation organizations. There are many organizations throughout the nation and within a state where people are hired to do formal educational research and evaluation activities. It's basically contract-based research or grants-based research, and you are hired to primarily do project work. And perhaps you focus on a research question and you develop reports, or you're focused on an evaluation question, and likewise, you investigate and you develop reports. As an education leader in those kinds of organizations, you would work your way up from being, say, a research analyst to a senior research analyst, etc. And your leadership capacity builds more and more on your ability to project manage larger and larger projects, and also do a lot of grants writing and grants administration. So now I'd like to talk about government organizations. As you know, there are many different bureaus, offices, etc. at the federal level, at the state level, and at local/municipal levels where you can be involved in educational activity from a government perspective. Perhaps you serve on a board of education, or you serve as staff for a board of education. Perhaps you work within a state department of education in a particular bureau or a particular office. Perhaps you work at the federal level in, again, a federal agency. If you work in the U.S. Department of Education, you're going to work in one of their department or offices. And there are any number of kinds of positions that you can have in those kinds of organizational spaces. You can be someone who's content-focused, so you might be focused on curriculum development and implementation, for example. You might be evaluation-focused. You might be interested very much in sort of evaluation metrics and understanding how programs are doing as they are implemented in an area. You might be assessment-focused. There's a whole range of things you can be involved in. But again, in those kinds of organizations, the leadership activities are built around managing project work that is based on the core work of the organization, whatever it is that you're doing. And there are a full range of activities ranging from very low-level kind of administrative tasks to higher-level conceptual and project management tasks. The third thing I wanted to talk about were nonprofit organizations. And this is an important sector of our society, and it's an important factor in the delivery of educational opportunities at all levels, whether it's local or federal. Nonprofit organizations, typically advocacy organizations or watchdog organizations, are involved with doing research and lobbying and doing advocacy work around educational issues of importance to them. And as part of these, typically nonprofit organizations or philanthropic organizations or for-profit interested organizations, you can undertake a range of activities that are, again, largely research-based, a lot of communication-oriented public relations activity, also a lot of community-based organizing activity. So there are a range of positions in terms of how those activities take place, how they're managed, and so on. A fourth area, though, that I'm realizing I've omitted is the private educational product development area. So publishers and instructional materials developers who rely on people to research and develop materials so that they can be sold for use. And this is another entire industry where people can get involved. My point here is not to exhaustively talk about all of these various opportunities, but to say that sometimes when we think about educational leadership, we think in a very narrow way, and we don't think about all of the other types of opportunities that are out there for employment, for consulting work, etc. So as you go through your education leadership program, I encourage you to keep your eyes open around you to the many, many different kinds of jobs and organizations and people that you encounter to see if maybe some of them are places that you would like to be instead of, say, the building principal position or the curriculum department chair. Not that those are bad places to be, because many people would like to be there, but there are also other places.